Hello?
Hey girl.
You guys will not believe this.
No, I don't want to touch on.
Told you guys I fall in love fast.
The look on your face, and you're like, ooh,
Very healthy to have female friendships.
and
Yeah, I do
completely
want to get married
ghost
again.
me
And I
on
love
this
that
effing
So finding that
island.
balance
Still
of I
desire
can
to
have
get
this
married.
with
Or would you like to get rid of
having
toxic
sex
Wasn't
people
ever
with
really
replacing
in
it?
pain and part of it.
Welcome back.
It's a three-way call.
With Britt Fallon Star.
I wanted to tell you guys something before we get into the episode that I used to like see this guy in my early 20s. I met him through like getting my hair cut. He was a hairdresser, and we kind of just hit it off. We probably were like friends with benefits to some degree. He was also a photographer, so we did some photo shoots together. And I haven't really talked to him the past couple of years, but my friend, who also knew him because she was like living, she was my roommate at the time, sent me something out of the blue, and it was a post that was like, so and so, pedophile, child predator, groomer, and it's this guy's full name and face in just this thing on Instagram, and I was like, like in shock because I was like, is this real? So he's our age. He's like 37, 38 now. So he's a little older than us.
I was
And
about to say,
yeah,
don't be aging us.
right, I'm like, wait a second. He's older
This
than
is
us.
20 years older than this girl.
Yeah, she's 17, or she was 17 when they started talking. When she turned
Mm,
18, I guess she left her
mm.
parents' house to live with this guy. And they were like, where is she? They were concerned for her well-being. They were like, we haven't heard from her. And I guess they already had a restraining order against him. So in one of the posts, so the post that she sent me links to another page that the parents, it looks like, made specifically about him. And they have like a binder full of printed, like, of all their conversations. Everything's printed on paper. So you could see every conversation, and they've whited out like her stuff and just have his things. But I guess at some point, he was like parking in their neighborhood when she wasn't even home just to eat his lunch and listen to music.
Oh,
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah, so they got a restraining order on him. And in like the purpose, I think, of having like all those text messages out there was to show at where it started and how he was slowly grooming her into where it is now, and like going into her work and like his friends going into her work and like seeing if she was there and like weird stuff like that. Just kind of like, oh, you were at work. I went to your work, but you weren't there. Like kind of like almost sounds like stalking a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just a little shocking to see this person's face who I haven't talked to in a couple of years be the thing that I open the messages up to, and it's saying like, oh, he's a pedo, he's a child groomer. Like,
Disturbing. Absolutely disturbing. And so your friend sent you this because she saw it online. How
yeah, so
crazy is
she
that?
said yeah, exactly. She's like, I haven't thought about that guy in forever. She's like, but someone like reshared it on their story. So, and then actually
Mm.
like a lot of photographers that I know, if I go to that page, are following that page too. Because in the photography world, like you know each other, and even in like the hairdressing world, you know each other.
Hmm.
So to see like, how big that like page is kind of getting, it's not like super big right now, but it was getting like, it's got a lot of traction on it, enough to know that like most of Arizona knows who you are now,
Wow.
yikes.
at least. Crazy.
That is crazy. So looking back, Britt, did you see, like, have you thought about if you've seen any red flags or like any pointers indicating like this man may eventually be a pedophile or?
Yeah, I don't think so. When we were younger, like he was a little bit weird. But that was just a weird time. Like I think most people I knew were weird. Um, but I could see like how it happened. Like he definitely didn't age well, first of all. Um,
Oh no.
yeah, so and he was already like, and I hate to say like he'd already had some things that working against him physically.
Oh,
yeah, and also like just like
You guys, I put my pinky finger up. That's what she's agreeing to, okay?
other than that, like just also like not really like the most attractive man I've ever seen. So yeah, uh, I'm sure there was reasons he went in that direction.
Man,
Really, really unfortunate.
that
Yeah,
is
it
a
is unfortunate, especially like again, like we were talking about like the photography world. It's a little scary, especially when you're young. When you're young and being like in as a model or as an actress and you're in that space of these older people and sort of intimidating and trying to make it as well, you kind of are in an easier position to be groomed because you're so adamant about like, oh, I need to do better. I need to get this role. I need to book this
Book these
shoot.
gigs.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
I need to
dangerous, scary
build
place.
my resume, get credibility, make connections. It almost takes you back to like those unfortunate celebrity stories where you hear like, well, when I first moved to LA and I was trying to be an actress or a model and same situation, just
Yeah.
creepy older men just taking advantage. It's just so
Yeah.
sad. And she's still with him, we think, right now?
As of like the last post on that page, it does say like she hasn't come home or she's been with him ever since she left.
Mm,
So like right as soon as she turned 18, she was like out the door. So I get like as a parent, you like want what's best for your child. And that's a
hmm.
scary thing to know, like, because I guess from what it sounded like, it was getting to be a very negative space, the way he was talking to her.
no.
Yeah. So so I don't know, like I can send you guys the Instagram too if you wanted to peruse some of those messages because they're out
I
like,
Mm,
but to some degree I was like as a mom, like it is hard to kind of read those things and like know that that could be your child, you know?
yeah.
So, yeah, it was shocking. I'm still like I can't believe it. He hasn't posted anything on his social media in months. Um, and so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're like trying to take legal action. Like I don't know what legally they're doing that. I was just like, I have to share this with the girls because I'm like shocked right now.
will keep an eye
So
on his social
shocked.
media. I'm curious to see if he starts posting or not.
Yes, I will keep you guys updated on that. But
And those poor parents too, like she's 18, there's nothing they can do. Like I can't imagine just feeling helpless,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Ugh.
sure.
Yikes.
Well, TBD.
TBD.
Okay. Well, on a lighter note, I wanted to dive into the social media world with the relationships, how you guys feel about posting your partners on social media, how you feel about your partners posting you on social media. Is that something you keep private, public? What are your thoughts?
I think it's a yes and a no in for me for posting them and then for them posting me too. Like I do eventually want that. I want to like be able to share my partner on my page and then on their, or me on theirs, I guess. But I don't like for my business page, it's not what I want to represent necessarily. Like it's not a relationship page. It's not this is how good my relationship is. It's just sprinkles of my life because they want to get to know me. So there would be sprinkles of my relationship there. Um, and then on the other end, I feel like I would want them to post me, but I would not expect them to be posting me every single day. It would again be like this balance, and I feel like there would be communication around social media for us.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Definitely sprinkles here and there. We'd have to be super committed for me to even like introduce them basically to my social media. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'd also want to get their point of view, like how they feel about it. Do you want me to like, do you care? Because I know some people don't want to be posted. Some people don't want to be tagged and they could really care less. Like, they're more private and keep to themselves. So, I guess it has to do with you and your partner and, your guys' expectations of each other. What about you, Star? What does Paul feel?
Yeah, I think so for him in the beginning, he was very much like, I'm not on social media, don't really show, I don't want to show my face. I barely even have a LinkedIn. And that kind of progressed to me sharing him anyways, because I'm like, well, at least once a year, like let me show the man behind my camera for your birthday. And now he's more comfortable with it, I'd say. And he's like, we've made little TikToks and things like that together. And it's actually more, he's finding it to be fun. So I think, but it's like that expectation isn't necessarily there of, oh, I want to be seen this amount of time. Which on the other end of it for me, I think if I were, well, back in the day when I was single, I wasn't really trying to like, especially if I was dating multiple people like usual, like I'm not going to post about you until I know, okay, we are a thing, then I'll put you on my page. And when we're not a thing, delete, 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 start fresh. But Huz is very now more open to like being seen, and I think that's great. But I don't feel any pressure. Like, okay, I have to you have to be posting me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super nice. And we love to see Paul. We love his appearances.
Yeah, and now he's made his three-way call podcast real debut for us, and we
Yay.
appreciate him so much for doing that. I think it's funny that you say like the delete, delete, delete on on like the feed, like posting on the feed, which is why I think I love stories a little bit because it's like I'm more likely to post you on my story because that goes away in 24 hours.
Yeah.
That goes away in 24 hours, and next week someone's gonna forget that you were there, unless I'm consistent about it. So to get on the feed, I feel like for sure, like we have to be established to some degree to be like a semi-permanent space on my feed. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But yeah, that's just yeah, something that would have to be discussed for sure.
Have you guys ever experienced like just in the dating world, someone posting another person just to hurt you or like piss you off?
Like when you're dating them or no?
Let's say you're dating someone, it kind of sort of is in the middle of ending, and it's basically on its way to like ending for whatever reasons, and then they post this other person just to be like, haha, I'm happy with this person because it's happened to me, and I'm like, okay, so what?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. In the recent like years of singleness, I don't think anyone's done that to me. Um, and I think before like my ex-husband, it probably, I mean, social media wasn't like super huge back then, but it probably did to some degree, or I probably did that.
Hmm.
Like that was like, like even going back to like MySpace social media, when you change
Uh-huh.
top five or your top 10 or whatever it
I
was,
forgot about that.
right? Like if you're off, that was like a big slap in the face. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like even to like back in the old social media days,
Top five.
to
Yeah.
get back at someone, you're like, this,
Look who's replaced you now.
yeah, you're now number three.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I haven't like posted even so the one relationship I was in, um, he did post me on his feed. Kind of. It was like very incognito because I was like, he tagged me in it. It was his dog's birthday. Like it was, I was with the dog, and
Yeah.
so I feel like it could pass as like she's not my girlfriend. Maybe she's just somebody petting my dog, but he did tag me, so I was like, I didn't
Maybe it's just
for
someone.
that. I don't know.
It's a hot
So
chick petting my dog. I don't know who she is, but
I tagged her, but I don't know. And then on my end, like we went to dinner and it was like a boomerang of the dinner, but I tagged him in it. There was like a time we went to like play tennis and I tagged him in that too, but not like him specifically.
Hmm.
And there wasn't a pressure there either. That was, I think there would have been eventually though.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
yeah, I feel like pressure is common these days, on social media and especially with big time influencers. Like, I'm sure they feel the pressure to feel like do I need to post more of my, relationship behind the scenes stuff? Like I want to be authentic, I want to be true, I want to be relatable, and people that are following you want to see everything. They're asking you this question, that question, who's this, who's that, so I feel like pressure can really get to you sometimes in the social media worlds. And especially like when say you're posting that person and then you guys break up, it's like, do you need to make some big breakup post? Other people post reels about it and they're very open about it, and then it becomes their source of content for a little bit. Some people just kind of don't say anything. Like me, I didn't say anything. I never had like a divorce post, breakup post, but I felt like I subtly, would be like, oh, starting this new chapter. And it went from pictures of him and I and reels of him and I to just me. So I
Mhm.
feel like people eventually kind of caught on to that and thankfully didn't ask any questions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like the people who want to know are going to find out, by doing something like that, like, oh, something's off, let me check her page or like whatever, or just straight up ask you. But yeah, I was the same. I didn't tell, it wasn't like a, hey, everyone, I'm divorced now. Like it was, some people even now don't know that I'm
Hmm.
divorced. I've had people within this year be like, don't you have a husband? Like, and I'd be like, actually, no, I don't have a husband anymore? Um, so that also I think goes to like I have two different accounts. Like I had an account before and then I had a new one and we were together during this new one. But yeah, I mean, it was my business account. If he was posted, it was on social media. People knew who I was with because of what I was doing. Like we would do the same things, or it was very obvious, like we are doing something specific to his hobbies and they knew that. But
Hmm.
it slowly sort of again faded away because there was bigger and bigger gaps of that. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So I think now that there has been pretty much nothing with him in it, they either get
Mhm.
the idea, and there's never been anything on my feed specifically, I don't think. There might have been. Um, oh yeah, there might have been like of like my wedding, but yeah,
Hmm.
so
I feel like I'm just thinking about like my exes now that we're talking. For when I'm like, okay, we're in a relationship, I'm gonna post you and talk about you and our love, quote unquote. Um, and I've just mostly dated men that do not have social medias. Like at least two, three of my exes, they're either not on socials at all until conveniently after we break up, all of a sudden they create an account. Or they barely use it, haven't posted in years. Um, like maybe they, or like with Paul, for instance, he didn't really, I call it, he has a Finsta because now only for the last like year or two, he's just like, well, because his friends, oh, that's what it is. My mom created Instagram too. Because now when people are sending links to each other in group chats,
Mhm.
unless you have an account, it won't let you see the content. And so Paul's friends are sharing tons of memes 24/7. So that was his like, well, I guess I better make an account. But it's got no picture, no post, nothing. So it's
Is he
like, yeah,
following
I just
you?
he is. And I think Incognito is following our three-way call pod too.
Oh,
Because I'll be like, hey,
poor.
you want to engage on that? And he's like, yeah, I just have it just so I can like, comment, share my wife's
Oh,
stuff.
that's so sweet.
That is sweet. Yeah, I had like a completely different experience because my ex-husband had a social media account and he would like create these posts on his own about him and I, and that's great. That's nice. I never asked him to. I, could care less to be honest. And and he would get on me about not posting him enough. Like I would post him once here and there. Um, but I was running my beauty business at the time, so I was constantly posting on social media, like multiple reels a day, multiple posts a day. Story was always going off, 24 hours. And so I understood where he was coming from and the fact that I'm always on social media and I'm always posting. So yeah, like I should probably sprinkle a little bit more of him here and there, but it was just like it wasn't like a sprinkle. It was like very intense. Like he wanted to be very well known on my social media.
The
Like,
main feature.
yes, literally all over. And then I'm just realizing this too with the captions. Like, oh my gosh, like his captions for his posts would be like essays talking about how much
Uh-huh.
he loves me and all these
I
things.
remember those.
Yes. And then if I were to do something short and sweet or whatever, oh my gosh, I would hear about it. Well, why did you only say this? Like, look at my post. My post is so much more thoughtful than yours. I did all of this for you. Like, why didn't you do this for me? And so I was
What a
feeling that
crazy
pressure, like,
person.
ugh. So then it turned into me putting a facade on social media that we're like this happy couple. And like, I love him so much. And I'm like doing all these things.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the background, he's the one that's like making me do those,
Hmm.
you know?
So
So
now it,
go ahead, girl.
well, no, so now it just sounds like he's doing it just so he can expect it in return, not
Oh,
as an actual,
absolutely.
like, just because I want to do it because I care.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it just makes me think real quick earlier when you mentioned, like, have we ever had someone that's like posting about someone else to kind of like rub you the wrong way? And not that this rubbed me the wrong way, but you remember initially your friend showed you a post of him with his new girl at the time and literally wrote, I'm not even joking,
Longest.
like the same effing essay with the same words that I finally found my soulmate, this and that. And he would always say those things about me, literally the same effing thing. And
Mm-mm.
I'm like, that just goes to show just like how fake it is. Like,
Hmm.
really,
Hmm.
like the first thing you're gonna do is go on social media and like blast this. So it's like to me, like it's just red flags all over it. Like I'm just not down with that.
It's a show. It's totally about the show for him. Absolutely
Absolutely.
not.
That's crazy.
So, Star, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
Say Paul is wants to be an OnlyFans star and say he is like making all this money and you guys are living this lavish life and do you feel like you would support like you could support him like being an OnlyFans like if the tables were turned and he was just like this big time influencer like how would you feel about that?
Ooh, such a good question because I gotta say, I'm pretty selfish when it comes to me and my man at the same time. So I'd be like, probably not no. For me personally, no offense to anyone who does it or is in a relationship, that's just where I stand. I'm like, you're mine. And if I'm putting myself in like those shoes, I would just be a little bit, I don't know, concerned. Like, with what comes with it, the temptations, the messaging. I would be a little bit like maybe in my head about it. So I just would be like, what's the trade-off here? I think in my mind, especially not that my man doesn't look good, but if he was like, let's say, model, six pack, all the stuff, like Calvin Klein, I would definitely be like, so who else are you talking to? How many other wives do you have? How
What if
many?
it's like the trade-off are all these diamonds I'm giving you? This your dream car, your dream home. That's the trade-off. Would you be like, okay? Or would you still just be like, well, no. Like,
I would be like for a certain amount of time, but then I feel like the older I would get, the more I'd be like, is this really fulfilling? I don't
hmm so
know.
true.
Yeah.
What about you, Britt? Could you date somebody who's a big time influencer or OnlyFans model?
Well, I did have to think about this in real life. And I did go on a date with a guy who told me on our first date that his primary source of income is OnlyFans.
Oh.
Drop.
And I was very shocked. He said he didn't want to tell me in person because he wanted to explain like what he does. And I think that was nice of him to do because I do think that if he just like told me in text, I'd have been like, what? like, I would have been like trying to like make it up in my mind and think those very things like how many women are you talking to? Like, it would have my mind would have been straight to like women and what are you doing? Like how many women are you sleeping with for content? Like that kind of thing. But so in this scenario, he does only solo stuff, and his majority of his fans are gay men,
Ooh.
which I've learned is typically how that works because not a lot of women are paying for that. So he
Mhm.
caters to the gay men because that is the majority of his fans. So, um, and then yeah, the solo stuff was important, but I think he also mentioned that he doesn't like want to be doing that. Like that's not like what he expected himself to be doing, and it's not like what he wants to be doing like in general, but it is the most financially stable thing for him to be doing. And again, there's no judgment in what you want to do. I have friends who do OnlyFans and I support them. I've taken their photos for them, like in, some really spicy stuff. So I'm a big supporter of like whatever you want to do, but when it comes to like
Yes.
an intimate relationship, I really had to think about like, okay, what happens to our intimacy? Like what happens to that energy if you're spending that energy elsewhere? And how's that going to make me feel? And how is that going to show up in the bedroom? Or how is that going to show up in our life in that way? Um, and I don't think it would like sit well with me in the long term. And I would have to see that you saying that's not what you want to do, you doing the things that you do want to do. Like your actions would have to show like this isn't what I want to do forever, so I should be seeing you working on whatever it is you really want to do.
Yeah.
But I can sit there and be like, okay, like this is just temporary. I can support you in the meantime, and then you can, work your way to what it is what you're most passionate about too. Like career stuff is to me like I want to see that you're just passionate about what you do,
Mhm.
you know? So yeah, thinking about that and knowing what I need to as a person in that space, I would need a little more attention, a little more reassurance. Like it would just be probably a little bit more work than if he wasn't an OnlyFans model.
Mm-hmm.
My person in general, not just specifically this guy, like in general, like thinking about anyone who does it,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I think I look at it right now.
So, question for you. Did you subscribe?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't have an OnlyFans account either, so I would have to like literally make one just for him. I did ask to see his one of his Instagrams. So he goes by like an alter ego. I did ask permission to talk about this on the show too,
Mhm.
to respect his privacy because he is like anonymous for the most part. Like he shows his full face, everything. Like, but he goes by a different name completely, and it's not tied to his like personal
Identity.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does go by a different name, and I did just want to see like what kind of content he was putting out, and it really is catered to the gay community.
Oh. Oh, okay. So yeah,
Interesting.
because that's his audience. So he
That's his
has to
audience.
basically give the audience what they want, right? Because they're paying him.
Is giving the audience what he wants. He has a very large following on that on his Instagram.
Ooh.
Um, so
How large we talking, girl?
his followers on Instagram.
Hmm. What's
Oh
like the range so we don't give away his?
yeah, of the one account that I looked at, although I know of two, of the one I looked at that had the most, it was above 40K.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And then on OnlyFans, it tells you what like percentage you are of earners, I guess.
Oh,
And so when he first started, he was in the top 1%.
crazy.
And
Damn.
then he said that he's like more like he said I think it was like 2.2%, which I feel like is I don't know, but
Still
still
high to me.
I
Yeah.
don't know what he's at right now. Because I know he said like he kind of was like dropping the ball on it because you have to be like super like consistent with that. Even my friend has like she's like I have to, if she wants to make money, she has to be like every day posting,
Mm,
like to get people to her page and like new content all the time. So it's a full-time job.
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I've never been on OnlyFans, at least not yet.
I haven't either. I've tried clicking on a few people. Like there was some, there's a lot of celebrities on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So I know I've tried to maybe like navigate their page or whatever, but it's like you really can't, so like you really do have to pay to see things. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So
Yeah, you have to like create an account. You have to follow people either with their free membership or you have to pay the membership or whatever. Each person can have a different thing, or they could have multiple things. Subscribes, I know a lot because my friend does it, but I don't do it. Um, and then you have to funnel people in to
Just
your,
like for clarity.
yeah, for clarity. I don't have one.
sorry guys, I know you're down about that.
Yes, they are.
Um, I don't know if I told you guys this once, but when I did like my glute program for my birthday last year, a man purchased it just to send, like, mind you, you didn't know about it unless you were on Instagram.
Right.
So you could have just messaged me on Instagram, but he purchased the program to message me through my program and ask me if I would send explicit photos to him.
What
I was
the?
like, that was a lot of work, I feel. Like,
That's
yeah,
dedication.
I was like, first, were you trying to prove to me that you'd pay me because you bought my program first?
Yeah, probably.
Because that was really nice. I'm tempted. Like, that
Oh,
was
you
so
didn't?
nice. No, I didn't do it. No,
Oh,
I didn't do it.
girl, those cakes can make some money, honey. Let me just tell you.
And then after that, she's like, I don't think I'll be doing a booty program again specifically.
I'm like, well, shoot. Now I bet was pretty out there, I guess.
Ay,
But
ay,
yeah, that was
ay.
like, I mean, you get messages on Instagram, but then I was like, to go through all that work just to send me a message about that, you could have just sent it to me on Instagram. That's how you found this. I'm so
Honestly, he
confused.
probably wanted you to know that was serious.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because anyone could just DM you and be like,
true.
True.
but he was like, no, let me show her. Like, I'm gonna
Take that extra step.
Yeah.
go good for him. Sorry you didn't get what you wanted, but
I,
for you.
but yeah, fun times. Would you guys do that? OnlyFans yourselves? And how do you guys feel if your partner, Fallon?
I think for me, it depends on the type of content that they're putting out. I think that it also depends on we definitely would need to have boundaries when it comes to like messaging, and I know people request for certain things, so I would want to make sure, we have strict boundaries about that. Um, but yeah, I think it really does come down to probably the content for me. I feel like I probably, and like you were saying, like with the guy that you went on a date with, like his life goal is not to be an OnlyFans model. Like he's doing it strictly for the income while he works, on other areas of his life. And I feel like I as long as my partner's doing that too, and like we're both in an understanding that this isn't a lifetime goal, I feel like I could honestly be really supportive of it. And I feel like as long as, I'm getting, like you said, the energy from him. I'm getting, the personal time with him, and I feel good about it. I don't feel like it's taking away from our intimacy or our energy or anything like that. And then I feel like as long as, he's making the money and investing it, and we're like actually using that like for our future, I feel like 100% I could be an OF wifey. I mean, you only live once, and if it's not going to be, a long-term thing, then you got to make money while you have it.
It's so true. And because I love that you asked this question, girl, because I sometimes use, well, I still jokingly say with Paul, like, I'm already posting bikinis and stuff on Instagram. Why not just get paid? And so now putting myself on the other end of it, I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't do it. So, and my husband's very much like, no, you're not. But that's kind of like, it's so funny to me, like the different dynamics of we're all so different. We all feel different ways. But at the end of the day, it's what's important to you and your partner coming and talking and communicating and being like on the same level.
That communication's always going to be like a big factor to it. Like, this is how
Yeah.
I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. Okay, great. What do we do? Like, no.
Hmm.
Star, I have a question for you. So, have you ever thought about doing OnlyFans, or how do you think Mr. Paul would feel if you were like, "Hey, hubby, I think I could make us some money," which I know you could make you guys some money. Let's just put that out there. How do you think he would feel?
Well, so I have joked around with about this concept because I mean, I'm already posting in a bikini on Instagram, so why not just make some money? But Huz is very much like, no, I will work 10 jobs before you need to make money on an OnlyFans.
Uh-huh.
Which again, I support women being able to stand in our own power and do whatever we want to now to make money. But I also have to respect my husband's kind of like you're mine in his funny man way. But I think when it comes to full circle, taking us back to Britt was talking about like, unfortunately, that photographer man that you know. I actually had to block someone last year because I still shoot with people here and there, but this guy, I think we met at an event. And from there, we exchanged phone numbers. He started calling me, texting me, and I was thinking, oh, we're friends. Like, definitely not my type. And I'm pretty sure he's married too, but he would call me and want to talk to me for like 30 minutes, an hour every time. And it just got excessive. And then he started saying, well, when are we going to shoot again? Because I'd love to see you like in a tub or in lingerie. We could do that shoot here and there. And eventually, Paul was like, block that man. And I was like, you know what? I think I will. And I ended up seeing him at the casting for my last event. And he was like, are you still married? Do you have the same number? I'm like, no, actually, I changed it. And yes, I'm very still married. Okay, bye.
Oh,
So it's just it all the whole world to me of like, and I feel so like for the young girls now that want to be models, who want to be actresses, like they just have to be so careful because even us as grown women are still kind of we're all prone to it, really. And I think that's ultimately why my husband's like, I don't really want you to be a part of that world because it's interesting.
oh. Well, side note, since you are fresh off the runway, I did notice you had some bikinis, but think I saw you in lingerie strutting down the runway.
You did, and that was such a last minute look because I was only booked for two bikinis. And funny thing, because Paul was actually saying, like, I'd prefer you to only really do lingerie stuff for me because I used to shoot in lingerie stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get it. That makes sense. But then at the last minute, and even talking with these designers, like, hey, do you want to shoot? Do you want to walk in this or that? And going through the lingerie stuff, I was like, no, stick to bikinis. And at the last minute, this gal designer was like, do you want to walk for me? I'm like, yeah, in the moment of I would love a third look. And I'm like, shoot, it is lingerie. And I didn't have that conversation with Huz beforehand. But surprisingly, he hasn't brought it up. But I think it's because, and now talking about it with you gals, we probably will talk about it because before he was not really open to me just like shooting lingerie just for the hell of it, like for fun. But if it comes to like career, business, let's say dream job, I book Fenty lingerie. He's like, yeah, if you're making money, if this is going somewhere, okay. But not just for like Instagram.
Really understandable.
Like,
So wait,
that's
so he didn't
me.
even get to say anything? Did he just see you walking down the runway in lingerie and that's just how it happened?
Yeah. Because I didn't even send him the look beforehand. And actually, he hasn't brought it up. So now I'll have to ask him after we hang up, be like, so what were your thoughts on that? Because all he said so far is, I loved it. You look fantastic.
Oh,
Well, maybe not bring it up. Maybe he didn't even notice. Maybe he thought it was a swim.
And he'll be listening to this like, hey, girl.
wait a second.
Well, thanks, ladies. Such a fun topic to talk about, and we're curious, audience, what you think about dating influencers, OnlyFans models, how you feel about sharing your partner on social media. Do you expect them to share you on social media? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to rate us and share us.
Yes.
Yay.
Please rate and share. That's how other fun people like you will find out about us.
Fun people like us.
people like our listeners too.
All right, guys. Well, until next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.